Hi there.
Hi, Justin. Um, can everybody hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Oh, good. Hi, Bertie.
Hi there. Hey, Marnie. Hello. Hi.
Uh, okay, well, welcome everybody to the inaugural Public Services Committee meeting. I'm just going to write down who's here.
Also, just as a reminder, the this meeting's being recorded. All committee meetings going forward will be recorded and posted on the town website. So just wanted to let everyone know.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. And that's actually an interesting issue in and of itself, whether meetings should be posted. But it's an issue we can get into later.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So,
I talked with Esther Finkelstein earlier, and I think she's planning on being at this meeting. So any minute
okay.
she should come in.
Well, we'll hope she.
Yeah.
Looks like she's here.
Ah, okay.
Um, do you mind my asking who's Minuteman? Is that
Yeah, the same question.
uh? So Minuteman, are you a resident or guest? I guess it's undetermined.
Well,
Um,
maybe he's on the wrong Zoom.
in any event,
Hey
um,
guys, can you hear me
so
okay?
hi David.
Hey,
Yeah.
David.
Hello, Kumar. Hi, everyone.
Good. So I'm gonna try to share my screen, and I want to just as sort of an introduction, because these some of these issues might play a prominent role in our work. So this is the sidewalk on Grantham. You see the sharp drop off here at the edge, and then
Yeah.
I can't get to the other photo, but let me see if I can. I don't know if you can see this. See how the curb is painted on one side of the fire hydrant and not on the other, and that kind of encapsulates a lot of issues regarding how we get things done in this town, our town's culture, the PSC's work, but that's just sort of a quick introduction.
Hmm.
Okay, now I'm going to try my share my screen for something a little bit more substantive. Uh, okay, so I hope you can all see that. Just real quick, as Justin said, this meeting's being recorded. I will try to do the minutes in a timely fashion. Next meeting date is August 26th, and I'll send out an email just to see if you're all available for that. A few upcoming events. A week from this past Monday on July 27th, Cumberland Avenue one-way forum with the traffic committee. Uh, August 15th, deadline for the next town journal, and I'm going to send out an email to see if anyone wants to write an article on bicycle and scooter safety. August 25th, it's just an arbitrary deadline. If anyone hasn't filled in that survey, I'll email the link out again for it. August 26th, next PSC meeting, and I'll email you guys about that as well. Uh, September 9th, 7 p.m. at the Town Hall Safety Forum with Montgomery County Police and Montgomery County Fire and Rescue, which the mayor had set up. We didn't really have any involvement in setting it up, but I think it's going to be really interesting and informative for residents, and I hope we get a good turnout. I don't think they've announced it yet, so it could be that the date's still being finalized. September 10th and 14th, planning board hearings on the Friendship Heights sector plan, which Marnie is going to speak about a little bit later, I hope. And then to be determined WSSC meetings regarding their 2027 project to replace water mains, and to be discussed at a future PSC meeting, complaint from 3 residents regarding construction and large vehicles on Devon. So, on the agenda, I had committee introduction, but I think what I intended to do was give you an introduction on the committee, but what I think I'm going to do is skip that, and I'm going to give all of you an opportunity to introduce yourself if you'd like to. You don't have to, because I'm putting you on the spot, but if you want to go around the room and introduce yourself, feel free to. Birdie, since you're at the top.
Yeah, I'm new on the committee. Maybe everybody is, and I don't know it, but I am new on the committee. I've been living in Somerset for about 48 years only in the same house. It's grown a bit larger, the house, over the years. At one point, I was on the I was the head of the security committee way back when I think some of you weren't born yet, looking at faces. And I'm a criminologist actually by training. I have a PhD in sociology with a specialty in criminology and research methods. And so I've taught a bit in different colleges. I've evaluated criminal justice programs around the country. I don't do that now. I do a lot of other things, but the most important thing is trying to sell a script to Hollywood to make a movie. And I've been in the publishing business. I've been in many, many things. A business of my own with bed and breakfasts around the East Coast. And so just there's a lot of different industries, let's say, I haven't touched in some way with my ex-husband and myself. That's it. And I love Somerset.
Thank you, Birdie. Anyone else?
How do I get on?
You're on right now.
Yep. How do I get that to be Esther?
I don't know.
Okay, you move now. Okay.
You're
there
on,
you
Esther,
are.
but there's a little bit of an echo.
I
Sorry,
think I see. I think you might have. It looks like you're logged on twice. Let me see. Okay. If Esther, if you speak now, you might be able to.
can you hear me? Can you
Oh
hear?
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. I couldn't hear what was going on. I had to switch over to Nat's computer because I don't have a video on mine. So I'm here.
Great.
I'll go pick them up when they call.
What?
I'll go pick them up when they call.
Kumar, you're on mute.
Esther, we were just going around the room introducing everybody. So if you have something to say, feel free to, or
Okay, I'm Esther Finkelstein. I've been in Somerset for 44 years. I used to be the pool, the swim, what is it called? The pool committee chair. I haven't done anything in a lot of years. My kids are long gone. They have grandkids. We have grandkids now. And I love Somerset, and I want the sidewalks fixed. I want everything safe. And that's why I've been bugging Kumar and Rohit. And so I found myself on the Public Service Committee because I was bugging everybody. And I'm happy to be. I don't know
Thank you.
what you want me to say.
Thanks, Esther. And let's see, who else? Anyone else? Marnie or
I'll
Perry?
go next.
Anyone?
Yeah,
Oh,
go
all
ahead.
right. No, go ahead, Marnie.
No, go ahead, David.
All right. So I'm David Leibovich. I'm on Trent Street, actually very close to where Perry is, just by the path to the Willard neighborhood forest. Been in Somerset for about 6 years now, and 6 years. And yeah, we also love Somerset. Uh, I was with the traffic committee when it was still a thing, and then with the public safety committee for a couple of years, and then now this committee. And yeah, happy to be here. Just want to make sure we keep the neighborhood safe.
Okay, thanks, David. And Perry, do you want
Yeah,
to?
can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
because I'm having some connection problems myself. Just briefly, Rohit asked me to join this committee, so I told him I would. A lot of my focus, I said, what I think I could help with and provide some insights, would be safety and elements, of connecting our community more with the police, in on the DC side, on the Chevy Chase side, and Bethesda side, and look at some of the data that we have coming in, and determine if there's anything that we can do to make Somerset as safe as possible. We first moved to Somerset in 1979 when I was a kid. I went to BCC, moved out of Somerset in '87 after I graduated college, and then we moved back as a family in 2007 over to on Greystone before we bought our house here on Trent. So yeah, David's our neighbor down at the end of at the bottom of the hill, and my family, my parents raised four boys here in Somerset, and my brother is Gordon, who owns our family house on Dorset Avenue. So we have a long-standing history in Somerset, and I'm happy to be part of this. I founded some restaurants here in the DC area called Matchbox and Ted's Bulletin. And when I talked to Rohit, I said, well, I was basically our business liaison to all the police and jurisdictions, wherever we had a restaurant. And I was also our ANC representative for any of the jurisdictions where we had a restaurant. So ANC, police working with the commanders and trying to make things as like I said, safe and secure as we can possibly make it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Marty. I'm Marnie Shaw. I live on Uppingham Street. I've been in Somerset since 1990. I moved here from working for a governor in the state of Ohio in economic development, and my career here was at GAO. I was when this committee was restructured to add topics other than public safety. I was pretty excited about the broader mandate. I'm glad we have people who are experts in public safety, which I am not, but I am very interested in some of the other issues like managing the infrastructure and delivering high quality services.
Okay, thank you. And so just about me, I actually grew up in Somerset as well, like Perry. My family moved here in 1971, moved away after college, moved back for good in 2004, and I was the chair of the Public Safety Committee starting in 2022 up until its retirement last month, and now I'm the chair of the
Congratulations.
Services Committee. But all of you hit on some really important issues, and some of those issues we've been working on for a while. Some of them we are just starting now, and I think it's a really good time to sort of reboot this committee and start off with a renewed interest and excitement about some of these issues, and which is a good segue into our next issue, and we're gonna cover those issues when we get to the section on the work plan later in the agenda. So the next item on the agenda is this pool video surveillance camera policy, which I'm not sure if anyone had time to read it. It's a real doozy, I will tell you that. I think it runs about 12 pages long, and there's a reason why it's so long and involved. And that, again, has to do with the way our town sometimes does things in our culture. We don't do policies well. And so, just in a nutshell, I thought it was really important to have specific performance standards and safeguards and reporting requirements in it. And I think we're going to have to get into that in depth a little bit later. But we've actually got a guest speaker here, Matt Zaft. And so Matt actually came to one of our previous Public Safety Committee meetings, and he presented some really relevant and useful information about the real-world consequences of this pool camera video surveillance system, or camera system, whatever you want to call it. And he was going to attend the meeting anyway. I asked him to speak a few words about it. So, Matt, if you want to take the floor.
Sure. I guess just because it's being recorded, Matt Zaft, I live on Dorset Avenue. I am the chair of the pool committee. I am also on the swim team committee, and I'm one of the swim team reps. And Bertie, I am a sociology major by trade. That was what I graduated with my degree in, despite the fact that I'm in finance. And I had sociology major, economics minor, and I say I use the sociology much more than I ever use the economics. But no, so one of the things that had come up is kind of funny. I was at a different one of the meetings, not having anything to do with this, but more having to do with some other stuff that we were discussing, and this topic came up. I thought it germane to share. A few years ago, we had an issue with the swim team. So the swim team has a website, and they basically, like, one of the things that, as many of you know, we do throughout the season is take lots of pictures, lots and lots and lots of pictures. And it used to be the case that basically anyone could go to the website and access those pictures. And we had a situation where someone not from the town accessed the website, accessed the pictures, and started making some pretty vulgar and depraved, basically just really mean, insulting comments about mostly the female swimmers. Started leaving messages about them, and we had to shut the whole thing down. And it's one of the things now where, you have to have an account to be able to access the pictures. It's a little more locked down. And so it's just, to me, it's the one thing. I mean, I'm all for surveillance at the pool. I'm all for, trying to make it so that we, keep the kids safe. I also think just the threat of cameras at the pool keeps kids out of the pool sometimes, especially if they know that they actually work. But I do think that it's really important that there's systems in place for who can actually access the footage. How long is the footage stored? Where is it stored? What is the safety and precautions around that? Because what we don't want is the footage falling into the hands of, I don't know, whoever Minuteman Jax was that was on here before, or someone else not having anything to do with the town and things like that. So,
Matt, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'll claim Minuteman Jax. I was double booked in here, and that was my former business. So anyway, I'll stand down on that one.
But Minuteman Jax can access it. So
yeah, that's gone.
That's funny. No, so I mean, but really, it's more just I think we just need to take a good overall look at who has access and really control those measures. And I mean, I'm here to answer any questions about the pool that anyone has. But more so, that's all I wanted to say, and I'm happy to answer questions or just be an observer.
Well, can I say one thing? We really appreciate the news that you put on the listserv because we hear everything. Because I'm not at the pool anymore. My kids are grown and gone, and my grandchildren swim at a different pool. They're out in Gaithersburg. So it's very nice for me to see what's going on at Somerset Pool. And you've done a remarkable job. I used to be chairman of the pool committee. I didn't do anything like what you're doing. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Thank you. I say it is a true labor of love.
As
many other people said, I love this town. I often say that, there's inflection points in our lives where, we could go different ways. And I say some of the best decisions I ever made, one was choosing which college I went to, one was proposing to my wife, and one was moving here. So, it's all labors of love.
Yep. And we moved in 82. So I think Bertie's been here longer than I have, but other than that, we've been here a long time, and I've just watched the neighborhood change. It's been incredible, incredible.
Yeah.
I won't say anything else at this point about that.
Wilmar, I'm a little confused. So is the camera policy that you've developed intended to deal with the situation that Matt has highlighted, the problems that they've had, or is it intended to deal with security cameras at the pool for the town?
Well,
Which I see as somewhat different issues.
both actually, because the way I looked at it, there should be two purposes of this policy. One is to make sure that the cameras actually work at the pool, which they did not before. Whatever policy we were following, it did not ensure that the cameras actually worked. And that was Matt Trollinger's admission. They did not provide useful footage. And the second half of it is that we have to make sure that whatever system we're using protects those images, safeguards them, and ensures that only authorized users have access to that system and to those images.
So are the surveillance cameras that the town has used linked into the cameras that the swim team is using? Are they the same? What's going? I mean, I'm having a hard time picturing. I mean, my history goes back to where the town had some cameras that were intended to deter or at least document when somebody came in an unauthorized way and jumped over the fence and brought booze and jumped into the pool and did that kind of thing. And at that time, the town had off and on contracts with a monitoring company that would get an alert when that happened. I don't know if the town uses that kind of system anymore, but that seems a little different issue to me than what Matt is raising about the swim team cameras.
Well, here's the
Marty, there are no actual swim team cameras. I guess what I was alluding to before was we take photos. So we have like two different people that are taking photos throughout the year and at the meets and then uploading them to the website. The cameras that are sort of recording are the ones at the pool. They're one and the same. And so, to me, it is, those cameras are recording, so the question is, when are they recording and, what is happening to that footage? And that footage might contain swimmers. It might contain, for example, when we have home swim meets, the swim team junior coaches they by permission, they have access to the pool after hours and they decorate the pool. And, they set up things like, for example, like we have one of the meets is prom and they set up a whole thing for like a purple carpet. And that's usually done after the pool is closed. And when conceivably, if we're having hours of those cameras rolling, that footage would be rolling. And so I think that that's more of the footage we're talking about. We're not talking here about the pictures that Brett Guiley and Ann Bolton take at the swim meets.
Wait, may I ask a question, Kumar?
Sure, go ahead.
So how about let's look at this scenario and maybe I can try and fill those blanks in too, Marnie. Swim team coaches come at 7 a.m. They discover over in one corner of the pool a pile of beer cans and garbage and things like that. Oh, looks like somebody's been here last night. Now we have to go check the footage. So my question is, if that's the case, someone has to go refer back to the footage, create an incident report that either exists or doesn't exist, and then make a determination about whether or not they want to file something with the police and say there was trespass, and now we have footage of these people, and it's pretty clear who these people are, or at least we have reasonably decent footage to be able to identify people if we need to. So now that's very separate from the swim team,
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about trespass and we're talking about potential vandalism. Is there a procedure around securing that footage, getting that footage to the police, downloading it, putting it on a thumb drive, saying, okay, here's what we have, and then we're doing a joint incident report with the police and keeping the people safe who need to be kept safe, yada, yada, yada. Am I going sideways on you, or does that exist?
I think maybe Justin can answer that.
Yeah, I mean, so a situation like that at town hall, town staff, we would look at the cameras in a situation like that. So technically, all town staff would be able to log in and extract that video. But really, Linda Williams, our town clerk, is the main person that I don't look at it, so I don't really have the login, but I could get it if I wanted to. But basically, in a situation like that, uh, she would be able to log into the system, find the video, extract it, and then, if we want to call the police and show them the video, we could do that. I think it depends on the situation. Um, yeah.
Justin, does the town system right now, uh, when somebody enters the pool after hours illegally, does the system alarm and notify somebody who might take action at that time? Or is it
I
just a
believe
passive system?
I believe it does send some sort of an alarm. I have to double check with that, but I do know the answer is we don't have it where if somebody went to the pool at 1 a.m, an alarm wouldn't go off contacting like police to immediately go down there. Linda, I'd have
Or
to
an
double
alarm
check.
company? I mean, like many of us have alarm systems in our homes
Yeah,
where actually the police are notified and the alarm company is notified if there's an intrusion of some kind.
yeah.
Marty,
So we,
I can share, Justin. There actually are two different systems right now simultaneously going on at the pool. There is the video, which has the motion detection, which is the cameras, which is basically filming the entire pool and the exterior. Separate from that is an alarm system within the guard office. If the guard office is breached, I guess you want to call it, when that alarm is on, that will alert the police immediately. So there's that one, but it's only if someone goes into the guard office when that alarm is set. And that alarm, it's similar to your ADT motion, alarm calls the police.
So if somebody climbs the fence down near the diving boards and comes in with cans of beer, that the camera will record that, but nobody will be notified. Is that what you're
that is
telling me?
my understanding of the current system.
yeah, that's correct.
Is that the system we want?
And that's a
That's
good
the
question, and that's something we need to think about because
It seems to be that there's a lot of non-knowledge at the moment on the part of all of us. or pieces of knowledge that each one has. And I think one of the first things I would need, and I have read most of the 12 and I learned a lot, most of your 12 pages, and had a lot of questions, but largely the questions come from my lack of knowledge. And if we could get something written by Justin
Yeah.
and you, Matt, because you have, you know, there are different issues totally involved, and I'm not ever in a position of really making a good judgment on anything unless I have information. So we need some basic information, I think. I do, at least.
I
Well,
agree with,
I think we need to agree on goals too. How much surveillance are we talking about? Are we talking about just the guard office? Are we talking about the pool itself after hours? I'm sorry, I interrupted Esther.
no, I was just concerned because I remember when the kids used to jump it all the time and drink. We were always worried that somebody was going to be drunk and drown in the pool, and that's major liability for Somerset, and we need to avoid that. That is a serious thing. And plus, we don't want anybody to get hurt, let alone the liability. So I think that surveillance, whatever it ends up being, and I agree with Bertie on that, it needs to cover more than the guard room. It has to cover the pool where kids can have access and start causing problems. Otherwise, if they come in a back way, you don't even know about it because they won't get caught. They'll get smart enough to avoid the cameras.
I have limited knowledge of, what's feasible here, but my first thought is there are a lot of animals in Somerset, and any kind of motion detection is might be challenging. We have large animals too,
Yeah, yeah,
and so
yeah. It's
uh,
it's not easy. They're not easy questions to answer,
mhm.
but we'll
So,
come with some answers at some point. Uh,
so yeah, it's clear.
yeah.
It's clear that there's a lot of knowledge gaps here. And just to give you some background, we started this effort in about September of last year. We made a recommendation to the council that it come up with a policy for this already existing camera system, which, by the way, is recording, I believe, even during the daytime. It was designed as an intrusion, a camera system that would record intrusions for later investigation, but somehow, Justin, correct me if I'm wrong, it's recording during the daytime when the pool's open, right?
I hope
Yeah, I believe
I
so.
hope
Yeah.
so.
Okay. So that in and of itself is a question. Does it really need to be recording your children in skimpy bathing suits during the daytime when the pool's open?
Maybe it's not such a good idea.
And when we have a lifeguard staff there that's pretty much well in control of that pool. So that's one question. There are a lot of knowledge gaps here, but what we were told is write the policy the way you just assume the cameras are there, assume they're recording, write it the way you think it should work. So that's what we did, and it took a long time because we were sort of fumbling our way through it, admittedly, and kind of doing research. I still, to be honest with you, don't have a full understanding of how that system works. I know that the footage is stored on a server at the pool.
That's what I wanted to know.
I know that we've actually heard conflicting information. At one point we were told it's recorded in the cloud. Then we're told it's recorded on a server at the pool. We were told it'll be kept for 30 days. At one point we were told this footage is kept for 14 days. Then that was corrected back to 30 days, and it's overwritten starting at about 30 days. So, I mean, one proposal I have is that we notify the council that we have a draft, but we still don't have a good understanding of how the system works. And we'd like more information, and we can even do, if Justin's amenable to that, we could do a site visit to the pool and look at the system if you want to. I'm still a little hazy on this alert system because what I was told is that there are motion detectors. When a motion detector is activated, there are motion detectors like on the fences or somewhere. When it's activated, it sends an alert to Linda's phone, and then she can look on her phone and look at the live feed. I don't know if that's really the case, Justin, but then it was up to her to call the police.
Wow.
So we have a lot of knowledge gaps here, and I'm open to whatever the committee thinks is appropriate.
I'm
You know,
wondering why we have a town staff person in the loop instead of having this go directly to
Yeah.
the police. I mean, that's just the kind of question I'd like to see answered as we move forward.
And I personally, and I read most of the information, I don't think we're ready to show even a draft. It brings up a lot of issues, but I don't think we're ready to show the draft to the town council. We don't know. In other words, I would, as a researcher in my past, I would want to in-depth talk to Matt and a few other people who are very much involved with what really happens operationally. And also, Justin, what we're doing as a town. And then see what matches what and what's not necessary and what is, and create priorities and do a draft that's based in reality, not in the Friendship Heights non-pool ideas for videos, and not in, I think we ought to start with the people who know this very intimately because they do it every year and every day. And then it's not that what you've brought up in the draft isn't appropriate stuff. It is, but it's mixed up a little. There's policy next to operations, and which are totally different, totally different. And now I'm hearing from Matt, I'm hearing things I didn't really think about at all. I thought mostly about what the town had. I don't think we are ready to send something to the town council just because it's in writing. It's not there yet.
I
That's
think we should
that's
have
my opinion.
in-person meetings and be able to sit down and work on things together. I think it's very hard on Zoom, at least is for me, to really, I'd like to look people in the face, and it's a little hard on this, and really talk about things. That's just my opinion. I think it's at least some in-person meetings. I know Marnie agrees with me because she and I have spoken about that before.
Yes.
I mean,
Well, I think it's nice to get more personally acquainted before we are on Zoom.
well, that's an issue we can discuss. I'm open, or I'm
Yeah.
open to in-person meetings. Justin, can I just ask, as far as you know, how many incidents have occurred within, say, the last 12 months?
Oh,
Intrusions after hours at the pool?
that's a good question. I'd have to ask Linda. I think it's gone down. I know that just from uh like recent years. Because just in terms of like hearing about things, I haven't really heard about incidences that have happened.
Okay, let me ask
Uh
you this. Is there any
yeah.
record kept of those? That's the real issue.
Justin, let me ask another question. When you see these videos, can you identify whether these are actually Somerset kids or outside kids coming in to cause trouble in Somerset? I think that's a big question because we
That I
don't
mean
want
that's
our kids to get sent over to the police. They could be reprimanded by the parents. So it's something to think.
um well, so yeah, I'll try and answer both. So you bring up a good point, which so we I mean I mean I don't really recognize, I don't really know who's Somerset kids and who aren't. I mean, I'd probably have to show it to, I don't know, the mayor, somebody that maybe knows
Would know.
the people. But you did bring up a good point of actually discussion people have, like, why aren't the police notified when someone goes to pool hop? It's because a lot of people don't want Somerset kids to be
Arrested.
arrested. They'd rather
Right.
the parents deal with it. So that that is, I feel like that kind of goes to what Marnie, what you were talking about in terms of, I think that's a little bit of a reason why the police, we don't have like a system where the police are automatically notified when somebody pool hops because people are afraid of that. And then Kumar, for your question, I'd have to talk with Linda. I don't know if there is a record of, when these incidents happen. I think that'd be a good idea to probably have some sort of document or something we fill out anytime something happens. But I have to look at that.
Can you
I
get
want to
back
bring
to,
up one other point, which
can you get back to us, Justin?
Yeah,
Justin, can you get back to us on that?
yeah.
I want to really nail that down because that is another thing that goes to the heart of how our town does business, which is that we are not that good at keeping records and reporting these things. If there's a lot of those incidents, the council needs to know about that. I mean, Marnie, if you're on the council today, I think you'd want to know about this, that people are jumping over the fence. Now we have a higher fence, so maybe that'll deter many of those from now on. But
two things, Kumar, just so you know. One, it's not just kids.
Yeah.
One
Oh,
one of
really?
the
I thought it
incidents
was
last
just
year
kids.
was adults. So it's I don't I'd be hesitant to like draft things specifically about the kids because,
yeah,
like I said, it's adults too. And two, that I can tell you, one, the higher fences have definitely deterred. That is a definite benefit. Two, the knowledge of the cameras, just from having a daughter who is a junior coach, and from actually like it's kind of funny. This is just a little aside, but the junior coaches have a text chain, a text group with the junior coaches and the head coach and assistant coach and me. And I think sometimes they forget that I'm on it. And I can tell you that there, just the fear of the cameras has kept after hours activity down in a way that I don't know if it does with adults. So that's another sort of thing to point out.
But have you identified the Somerset adults? I mean, I think we
Yes,
need to look at it is.
anyone over 18
it was
is
a
an
group of
adult.
parents. It was
Somerset
a group.
adults break into the pool at night.
But this was last summer. This was last summer, and yes, and alcohol was involved. There was no swimming involved, but it was, yeah.
And
I
that's
I don't want to make light of any of this, but my brother in 1988 was one of the kids who jumped into Carl Rowan's pool, and it didn't end well. Not end well for him.
I bet it didn't.
Yeah.
Justin,
I-
when you're finding out about incidents, I've read a lot of police records and prosecutor records. I would really like to know, though, all kidding aside, I would like to know the nature of the incident, exactly what's involved, unless you know what kinds of crimes we're dealing with, adults or kids or day or night. I mean, you really need to know as much as you can about what crime we're
Well, the
talking.
crime is breaking into the pool.
Well, but it may not. Okay, how are they breaking in? Where are they breaking in? What time they're breaking in? Is it 3 in the
That's what we
morning
need to
or is
find
it
out.
9 at night? Is it adults, as we see now, could be, or
Yeah.
kids? Or, in
and
other words, you start with, if we're looking at policies to deter offense, to have, recordings of offenses, we have to know what the offenses are. That's it. It's as simple as that, as far as I'm concerned, to start.
so we're almost out of time. Actually, we're over time on this issue. So I guess what I'm hearing is we definitely need more information. We need information on types of incidents and some of the specifics that have occurred. We need to understand how the system currently works, although maybe that's a sort of a secondary issue. And then there are some of the larger policy issues like, do we need to record during the day? What kind of alarm system there should be? Should there be like an alarm company that monitors the alarm system for the whole pool perimeter or just the bathhouse and the office. So I guess what we could do is put together a list of questions for starters and then ask for a meeting with the town staff. Does that sound? We could get some answers in advance.
Matt and the people who are there during swim times. The staff know probably more
I
than
would suggest having, like, Helen Carter, who's the pool manager, attend. The other, I would add to your list of questions, Kumar, and I don't know the answer to this question. Should it be a town staff member that's getting the alert at 3 a.m. or whatever it is, or really should it be the mayor, or the council president, or it could be like a rotating council member each day is on the alert notification. Like, should this be like, should we really be putting the responsibility on Linda to make the decision? I mean, Linda is amazing and wonderful and like unbelievably incredible. Like, we could not have survived this swim team season without Linda. But like, should she really have that responsibility of having to determine whether or not to call the police?
I don't
And she
think
should,
she
and should
I
she
don't
be
think
getting bothered at 10 at night or 12 at night or 2 a.m? She's not an elected official, and she doesn't know the people in the video. So that I think you should add that to your question list.
Should go to Rohit's phone.
Okay. So now I will say Justin had sent me answers to some questions. I'm not sure, Justin, if you want to revise those answers, but why don't I?
Yeah.
If you can't find those, I'll email that back to you. You take a look at them, see if there's anything in there that needs to be corrected or clarified.
So is the plan to get a list of questions together to then forward to the town then?
Yeah, if everyone could send me questions, I'll compile them. I'll send them back out to the committee. I'll send the entire list back out to the committee. And if you all are okay with those, we'll send them to Justin.
That sounds good to me.
Should we set a deadline for sending you questions?
What do you think? 2 weeks from today? Is that
Maybe 1 week?
1 week? We can always add to it later, but yeah, so let's use that as deadline, 1 week from today. So next week.
is there an assumption that there's nothing even written for the town about the system that exists?
Justin had actually given me answers to some questions that I had posed, so I want to give him the opportunity to
research
look those over again,
okay.
just in case they need to be
see if there's
clarified. So as soon as he sends that back to me, I'll email it out to the entire committee.
Well, I think we've talked about this enough, and you have other agenda items. And I think getting the questions to Justin, and that's something we can do. But don't you have some other agenda items that need to be touched upon?
Yes. So
wait, are we sending the questions to you, Kumar? Or are we sending
you
them?
can send them to me.
Okay.
And once I receive them, I'll put everyone's questions together in a single list. I'll email that back out to the committee just so you can look it over again. And if it's okay with all of you, I'll send that to Justin. So we had 2 more items on the agenda, work plan and Friendship Heights master plan. But since
I'm gonna sign off now and thank you all for all your work.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
And
Thank you.
My pleasure.
thanks. So why don't we go to the Friendship Heights sector plan issue, Marty, if you want to lead the discussion on that.
Okay, well, I can cover this pretty quickly. If you had a chance to look at the material that was circulated, you know that the planners have been working on a update to the 1988 plan for more than a year. They've held a variety of public meetings. The concerns that have been raised since the 1998 plan include the fact that the major retail establishments have left, by and large, left the area and have kind of left behind empty spaces. And there's some interest in trying to generate more economic activity and more liveliness in Friendship Heights. So a lot of meetings have been held, and the major topics have been around land use, specifically building heights and density, roadways, bikeways, pedestrian safety, and green space. And you have a copy of the draft plan that was sent out. There's some key upcoming dates, some of which you already saw tonight. Well, the first one that's coming up is on July 30th, there's a meeting on the Geico, the Friendship Commons plan, in front of the planning board. The Village of Friendship Heights is sending a bus up there to the planning board to testify. It's at 5 p.m. on July 30th. Anybody, I think, is welcome to go to that hearing. But of course, it's especially important to people in Friendship Heights because Geico property represents a big percentage of the space. The other dates, which were already shown on the screen tonight, are September 10th and 14th, when there will be planning board hearings on the draft that you, I think, have copies of. The Coordinating Committee on Friendship Heights, I don't know whether all of you are familiar with that group. It's been in existence for, I think, 40 years probably. And Somerset is a member. It's local communities following local issues, and they've been following the development of this plan. I know that I believe the chair of the committee is going to be testifying on the 14th of September. And I don't know whether our mayor or council member Heller will also be testifying. I haven't had a chance to find out from them, but I would think many of the communities nearby are planning to do that. The hearing, the two hearings, one is at the planning board on Reedy Drive, and the other is going to be at the Bethesda Chevy Chase Regional Center on Edgemore Lane. Oh, you can start signing up to testify August 3rd, and I think there'll be a rush to sign up because there'll be a limited number of spaces, but people can also submit written testimony. If you had a chance to take a look at the list of issues the mayor circulated to us that he wanted us to take a look at from the plan that he thinks will particularly affect Somerset, I wasn't clear what some of these issues, for example, the difference between the two, one about a safe, accessible connection between Fallstone Avenue and North Park Avenue,
Right.
and coordinating to improve bicycle and pedestrian connections between Somerset and Friendship Heights via the Marnie Shaw Path. Because
I wasn't clear on the difference either.
yeah, so then there's the bikeways on Willard Avenue and on Wisconsin and on River Road. I mean, there are proposals to eliminate traffic lanes on major roads that I think we're going to want to take a look at. Some of you I know are bikers, at least I know Perry is, and probably some of the rest of you are bikers who may have some insights into these issues.
May I make a comment just briefly, Marnie, and thank you for that clearly presenting this. So my really only issue, I don't know how you guys feel about this. Again, goes back to safety and making it easier, especially if we anticipate a lot more people in Friendship Heights in the coming years. It's to incentivize more traffic, whether it's pedestrian or bike traffic through Somerset. Um, and any improvement we make to the path, any bike lanes that we build, it's gonna just bring more people in. Is that what we want? By the pool. I don't think that's what I want.
Good
I
idea.
think I think we need to sit down and talk about these issues. I don't think we have enough time to do that tonight, but I would like to see us get together to kind of talk through them. I also had one other question I'd like to ask. I mean, our mayor suggested that we would want to get somebody from the planning group to come in and talk with us about these issues, maybe to explain a little further about some of them. And then I think we all do need to talk more among ourselves about what we think is best. But one of the other questions that occurred to me when I read the plan was I wasn't sure whether they could still build behind Dorset Avenue and behind Warwick. They've changed the zoning. I don't know if you can see that. They've changed the zoning on the parcel that they start at Wisconsin Avenue and they run behind Dorset and they run all the way back over to Warwick. And they've changed the zoning there from R60, which is 60 feet high for the parcel closest to Dorset. And they've changed, the other one was commercial residential, and they've changed it now to zoning that's going to be 200 feet. And I don't know whether there's room to put 200-foot apartment buildings in the spaces between the existing buildings and the ends of those properties. And I didn't see anybody raise that question, but I would think we would want to be sure for our residents on Dorset and Warwick that we know the answer to that question. So those are things I thought about. I think we need to set up a meeting if we're going to meet with the Montgomery County people sometime in August, and the earlier the better. I mean, the Geico hearing is August 30th. The next two hearings are the 10th and 14th of September. So I don't think we want to wait too long. Kumar, I can't hear you.
What does everybody think? Should we set up a meeting in August? So would that be with the planning board staff, Marnie?
Yes, that's what Rohit had suggested.
Marnie, do you want to have a meeting before the 3rd of August?
That would be good. I mean, between ourselves before we meet with that person? Yeah, that's probably good. So we really know what issues we care about, and that will make our meeting with the county more efficient.
We don't have a lot of time between now and August 3rd.
No, we
So
don't. Are there?
It's a Monday. The 3rd is a Monday.
One thing I will say is that this committee's jurisdiction really covers things like public services, transportation, impacts on the town. We're not so much, and I clarified this in an email with Rohit, we're not so much authorized to get into issues like density or height of buildings or different uses of buildings, commercial versus residential. I mean, the council might want to get involved in that, and Debbie Heller, I think, is also pretty active, if I'm not mistaken, with the coordinating committee on Friendship Heights.
I'd hate to see what happened with Little Falls to happen to anything around here. I think they have made a disaster on Little Falls. There's way too much traffic now because they went down to one lane. And I have a dog. I don't want to walk on the other side where all the traffic is. I just think that's a disaster. I'm very upset about that.
We worked on that, Esther, since the very first public meeting that they held a long time ago. And they had various tables and people could put preferences. The favorite preference from the citizens in the surrounding neighborhoods was a bridge. And nobody in the planning group paid any attention. You know, they knew what they wanted to do and they just kept rejecting the things that the communities suggested. I mean, when we couldn't get a bridge, then the question was, could we move to the traffic light? I mean, it would mean people would have to zigzag a little bit to go across at a light. But we wouldn't have gone through all of these changes with Little Falls Parkway. I mean,
So
I don't know that these people are very good listeners. They think that they understand what are the best ways to plan modern communities, and they really aren't very good listeners.
Well, we live here. We know what we want, and they should have listened. I didn't know that had happened.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this went on for over like 4 or 5 years, Esther. But they knew what they wanted to do, and they rejected pretty much everything citizens in the surrounding neighborhoods suggested. Kenwood played a huge role. Kenwood was a leader in opposing what's happened with Little Falls Parkway, but they paid no attention. I don't know that they're going to pay much attention on this document either, but you know, we have to make a good faith effort.
That's disturbing.
to show you, if I can just share my screen for a second.
Are Wednesday nights good for people?
Wednesday nights are pretty bad for me, but what dates were you thinking of?
Well, I mean, if we're going to try and get together relatively soon, we could get together the 5th of August or the 12th if Wednesdays are good. We can pick other dates.
I thought you wanted to do it before the 3rd. You can't do it. It won't work.
No. I mean,
Did you say the 3rd or the 30th?
well, we need to meet with, I think that, I don't know whether you want to invite him, a person from the parks to our next formal meeting, or whether you want to do that separately.
I think we do need to work on our work plan, and we might need to address a couple other issues. But if you think it's important, we could do it at our next meeting. Well,
We may not want to wait that
Let me ask you
long.
this: would the 12th work for everybody?
Sure.
Yes.
Just
So that would be a
Like,
pre-meeting.
basically have a special
That would be
meeting.
just us getting together to figure out what's important to us.
August 12th, it's a Wednesday. What time would you want to do it?
Is 7 o'clock good? I don't know.
Sure.
Sounds
This is going
good.
to be in person at the town hall or what?
Either works for me.
Either works for me too.
Well, Justin, if we have a meeting at the town hall, it still needs to be recorded. Is that correct? So, would a staff member have to be there?
Yeah, I mean, I can be there. That's fine. It can be in person, but to record it, we will have to have like an option over Zoom. So I can record it with people in person, but people could also be listening and over Zoom.
Okay, so we're going to try to meet in person on the 12th at the town hall to discuss what our concerns are with the plan.
I actually, and you don't have to change the plan for me, but I cannot do the 12th.
Okay.
At least not
well,
in person. But again, if it works for everyone else, then
No,
Could you
let's
do it
everybody
with
can
the-
do it.
would the
I-
5th work?
The 5th won't.
Does it have to be a Wednesday?
it doesn't
No.
have to be a Wednesday. I can do the 11th. I can do the 13th.
I can do
Want
the
to
11th.
do the 11th?
I can do the 11th. Can everybody else do the 11th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone cannot? Is anyone unable to do the 11th?
Let me look at my calendar.
11th at 7 o'clock?
Okay, that's good at the town hall.
Justin, will that work for you?
Yeah, that looks like that works for me.
Thank you guys
Okay.
for being accommodating here.
Did we
And
ask
then,
Debbie Heller to attend?
and
Marnie?
then we need to schedule a meeting with, um, the person from the county, the planner. Somebody from the working draft plan. Do you want to try the 13th?
What was wrong with the 11th? And somebody can't do it?
Well, no, the 11th, we were talking about getting together ourselves to kind of go over what our concerns are, to
Yeah.
kind of agree on the things we want to emphasize when we talk with the planners. So it's sort of a
What would
prep
be-
meeting for us.
So what did you want to do on the 13th?
See if we could get the planner to come from Montgomery County.
So we'd have a meeting on the 11th and the 13th?
Well,
Yeah,
if
or
the,
we could look at,
Anybody up
or
for
we could
that?
look at the next week.
I mean, I guess we'll have to see their availability.
I may not be able to do the 13th. I'm gonna have to
Okay.
figure that out. I mean, the 11th looks okay.
And I don't think we
Okay.
all have to be there on the
Yeah.
the third the meeting with the planner.
Well, we have a meeting on the 19th of the committee as a whole. I mean, could we invite that person to the committee meeting? Or do you
Perfect.
feel like, Kumar,
Our
There-
meeting's on the
there's-
26th.
much to do?
Our meeting's on the 26th.
Oh, the 25th.
The 26th of
Oh, I
August.
see it. Yeah, I
Oh,
see it on the
26th?
Yeah,
I thought it was the third
fourth
Wednesday? No?
fourth Wednesday, isn't it? I thought it was the
So-
fourth Wednesday.
I won't
Okay,
be here the 26th. I'll be away that week.
Um, so as far as the meeting with someone from the planning board, Marnie, who would that be? Would that be with Atara Margolis?
it probably would be with one of the planners, not a member of the planning board. It would be one of the people who is responsible for developing the plan that we have.
Well, what if
And-
we meet on the 11th and in the meantime, find out when that person is available for our next meeting? Does that work
Okay.
for people?
Sure, that's fine. Yeah,
Most likely,
Rohit
yes.
wanted to contact him, so maybe I will let him know that we would be interested, but we want to do it after the 11th, and we'd like some available dates from the person.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay,
Marnie, do you think we should invite Debbie Heller to this meeting on the 11th?
yeah, of course.
Debbie's very involved.
Yeah, she would be good. In fact, I thought we have a representative to this committee. It's, I think, the new council member.
Berlinda
Yeah.
Doherty.
Rolinda?
Yeah,
I don't know if she knew about the meeting.
she knows about it.
Does she? Yeah, I would definitely invite Debbie because I think Debbie is potentially somebody who might testify for Somerset if Rohit doesn't, or maybe they both will.
Okay. So, Marnie, who will be making the contact with the planning board? Will that be Justin or would it be you? As far as asking them
What
for available dates.
Well, looking at Rohit's memo, he said, as a first step, I propose to contact the project lead to schedule a meeting with you. So I think that probably Rohit would like to do the contacting,
Sounds
and then
good.
maybe he'll turn over the scheduling to us. So we can let him know the results of our meeting, that we're going to do a pre-meeting to make sure we're all kind of have identified the issues that are of concern to us and that we want to understand better.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll email Rohit, ask him to get that process going.
Okay, and let him know that we won't be ready until after the 11th.
Right. We won't be prepared to
Do we want him at the meeting on the 11th? We want Rohit there?
He's always welcome,
Okay. Well,
but he didn't indicate.
if he wants to come, he's got a lot going on though.
Yeah.
I think we can probably just handle that
His
ourselves.
his memo says, as a first step, I propose to contact the project lead to schedule a meeting with you.
I think we can just talk between ourselves, amongst ourselves on the 11th, and then do that, have the meeting with the project lead, who
Excellent,
Rohit
Dick.
can contact, and then we can meet with Rohit.
That
Meanwhile,
sounds
I will, I had emailed Debbie about tonight anyway, and I hadn't heard back. So maybe I'll write both her and Rohit and see what their plans are for going to any of these hearings and testifying and so on.
sounds good.
And anybody's welcome to go to the coordinating committee meetings too, where they'll be talking about this. They meet the third Wednesday of the month. I think
Where do
that's
they
right.
meet, Marnie?
What? Oh, no, they're meeting, let's see, they've already met this month on the 15th. So their next meeting is probably the 19th of August. I don't know. I'll find out.
Okay. Where are those meetings held?
They do them on Zoom. They used to hold them at the Somerset Town Hall. But things changed during COVID, and then they just never went back to in-person meetings.
Okay. Looks like Birdie signed off, and
Yeah, and I have to go pack.
Okay.
I'm on a plane to Toronto tomorrow.
okay.
Have fun.
Well, safe.
Well, have a safe trip. And I guess our meeting is, we didn't get to the work plan. I'm going to email something out. I'll email a proposed work plan, but I still want
Thanks, Mark.
all of your input.
Okay, thank
So,
you all.
Thank you all. Good meeting
Great.
with
Thanks,
you.
you guys.
Bye-bye.
Kumar,
Thank
will
you,
you-
everybody. I guess
Will your
we're
work
adjourned.
plan cover, Kumar, will your work plan cover the broader mandate of the committee now?
Yes, it will.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and it's what I have. It's really just a really rough draft. I mean, it needs to be refined, and I think we should try to get it to the council, by October or November sometime. But if no one has anything else,
No, thank you. It's so nice to work with everybody.
we're adjourned.
Thank you all.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody.